Hey kids, we're back. Yeah, you're watching a Guitar Quackery live, the one and only live streaming guitar repair channel. I think. I might be mistaken, but I think so. Okay. Now, I am streaming. I sent a link to the customer so that he can watch me work on his guitar. You're watching part 3 of the Martin 0017 project. And here I am sending a link to this, to the entryway TV, so people can watch. Also, we have customers here. So this is Music Makers NY. Well, no, this is Guitar Quackery, located at Music Makers NY in New York City, Bob Elliott's Music Makers. Yeah, it's a little repair shop in a big studio, Manhattan studio. All right, so what are we doing today? Right now, I need to check this routing jig that I made yesterday, or, you know, I made. Let's see if there's more to be, you know, worked on before I can say that I made it, as in finished making it. This is the guitar. Okay, this is the humidifier. It goes here. Keep the humidifier in the case and close the case. Keeps the case humidified, obviously. Which way? This way. Right. I have my switcher here. Just got to turn that on. Yeah, so we need to modify the saddle slot so that we can put a new saddle. This one is too shallow because the bridge has been shaved. Technically speaking, this guitar needs a neck reset, but you know, we can make it playable without a neck reset for the time being. Let me see what the action is like. I forgot. It's about 85 1/1000 inch on the treble side. Should be about 80. And this is 125, should be about 100. And we have a quite a severe break angle going across the saddle, which is why you know, it will be okay to do this without a neck reset. Although technically speaking, yeah, a neck reset is what should be done, I guess. A neck reset is a very invasive procedure. It has its risks. So let's say that we are avoiding it today. So yesterday, I made this, right? And today we're going to fit it, make sure that it fits without wobbling and wiggling, and advance the project. I did put the strings back on, and I tuned the guitar to pitch before I put it in the case overnight. So now we remove the strings again. I think that's the right way to do it. Although the guitar would be just fine without strings on. But I kind of like to keep the strings on. This keeps the soundboard deflection the way it is. Once you leave the guitar without the acoustic guitar without strings on for, you know, an extended period, you really need to do like a stress test. You need to let it settle before you do your final setup. Okay, so let's remove the bridge pins. We're going to change these bridge pins, I think. That's what I'm going to recommend. I'm going to put ebony pins. It does have an ebony nut. We looked at that. Maybe I should put this camera here. Okay. You get this view. The phone's ringing. I'll just let it ring. I don't really like to pick up the phone because people can just, you know, maybe sometimes get carried away with, you know, long conversations, and now I'm working. So let's see. So this is a Bondo. It's fully cured now. Okay, I let it cure overnight. Let's see if this fits. And we don't have any wiggling. Look at that. I'm happy about that. All right, so I'm gonna call it good. No adjustments needed. If I had a miter saw right here, I would cut the corners at a 45-degree angle just to make it less, you know, whatever. But I don't have a miter saw here in this shop. I do have a miter saw at the other shop in Brooklyn. This is in Manhattan. Yeah, I'm happy with this. We can put something here to, I don't know, maybe, you know, I'm just worried about the chemical reaction between the Bondo and the nitro finish. Yeah, let me think about it. It won't be on the guitar for a long time, so I think that's fine. Sometimes you get chemical burns on nitro if you keep it on a stand, on the guitar stand for, you know, an extended period. But I think it'll be just fine for, you know, the 15 minutes that it takes to do this job. But now is the time to do some prep work. Okay, first we'll remove the saddle. So let's see if it comes off easily or not. I did remove it once. I just can't remember. I see quite a few guitars, and, you know, let's see. Does it come out? Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, so this saddle depth is simply too shallow, as you can tell. So with this sideway pressure from the strings, yeah, I think it should be deeper. So I'm going to make a new saddle. It's going to be shaved on the sides. Yeah. And now, because of the close proximity between the back of the saddle and these slots, we do get quite a severe break angle across the saddle. So next thing, we need to put the routing jig here. And then we are going to position 2 fences like this, so that the router can, be safely moved from west to east, from the bass side to the treble side, I guess. And yeah, so this is what I'll be working on next. Let's remove the jig for now. And I'll put the guitar in the case because I do need to do some prep work. So the humidifier is there. It's going to be right next to the headstock. And always lock the case in case someone picks it up, right? Okay, first thing, I am going to put the correct routing bit on the router. Okay, so this is a 1/8 of an inch diameter. I don't know if this is even a routing bit. I think it's an end mill, but it's got the right shaft diameter, so it's going to fit in the router, no problem. Okay, now I would like to just text this potential customer with my generic text message. Let's see, it says unknown caller, so there's no phone number. I can't text back. Okay, whatever. Delete. Yeah, let's see. So I need my crescent wrench for the router. Where do I have that? Just a moment. It's right here. Okay, so I got a notification that I need to drink water, otherwise I get migraines, sorry. And if I get a migraine, I can't work. And if I can't work, the guitar won't be ready, or even guitars. Quite a few of them. I need to organize this better. It is better organized at the other shop. Okay, let's see what we get. So it's the same excuse me, shaft diameter as regular routing bits, which I believe is, I guess, 1/4 of an inch. Now it wants to just go deep. I think I want to put a spacer there. Let me see, let me think here. Yeah. So that it doesn't sink too deep inside. Let me see. So those are little things that you just need to resolve as you work on a project. You can't predict every turn of events. Let's see what I got. I think if I put some kind of cylindrical object, okay, what is this diameter? I mean, yes, this would fit. It's the ball end of a bass string, but it's the exact diameter, about 1/4 of an inch. So I want something smaller in diameter so that it easily falls out. Maybe this is it. Yeah. So what is this? Yeah, it's a spacer for a string tree. So this is it. All right, and I just want to put it inside here so that when I put the router bit inside, it doesn't sink all the way to the bottom. Is this okay? I think that's okay. All right, and now I need to adjust the this position, and I wonder see, it's not long enough, so we need a longer spacer. So something longer. What could it be? What could we use? I don't know. I don't have an answer yet. So it's not going to be this. Let's see if I got something here. I'm thinking a set screw. And I don't have one here. Okay. It's something that I have to resolve off camera, I guess. So we are not going to be routing right now anyway. Let me put these router bits away. So for now, I just want to place it like this. So technically speaking, in theory, I could just keep it like this. You know, that's good enough, right? But what happens if it gets pushed for some reason? You know, this is going to be vibrating. So I prefer to have a spacer between the router bit, the bottom of the router bit, and the whatever, you know, the bottom of this cavity, the hole. So I'll find something. Now I want to make sure that this will work. So let me take this and just kind of like eyeball it. So now it sticks out enough, I guess. We'll see when we put it on the guitar. So we can always adjust it. can't remember if I tightened this or not. That it? Yeah. Okay, I'll put the guitar back on the bench. And let's do what needs to be done. So I'm thinking I could put just some tissue paper. Let me see. Yeah, I like that. I'll show you. So this is just Kleenex. I could put some here, 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 and here. Just, you know, to protect the finish. This will work. And I think it'll, you know, lock the jig in place better anyway. It's going to result in a tighter fit, like around the edge of the guitar. I just need one more here. So just like that. And I guess this is still usable. I can still blow my nose. I'm just repositioning the other camera. Is that it? I think so. Maybe we move these a little bit. Okay. And yes, it does result in a slightly tighter fit, which means less likely to shift during the routing. Now, I just want to make sure that this sticks out enough. So let's take some measurements. So this is a caliper. I'm going to measure in millimeters. Okay, so I zero out. And I need to know the distance between this surface and the bottom of this slot, existing slot. So that's hard to do from here, right? So this is going to stick out. So what I do is I just put, you know, something here of a known thickness, and I do this. So it's about 1 millimeter thick, but I zero it out here. And now, when I use this plate as a positioning plate, when this touches the bottom of the existing, you can't see anything from there, of the existing slot, it subtracts the thickness of this because I zeroed out, right? So we get 12.27 millimeters in the middle. Here we get 12.6, and here we get 13.4. Okay, so it's slanted a little bit. That's probably because my jig is slightly slanted, but you know, it's a small difference. So we're going to have to route it deeper by at least 2 millimeters, let's say we count at least, right? So from 13.4, let's call it 13.5, let's call it 14, and 2 more is 16, right? So I want this to be protruding at least 16 millimeters, right? And that's what we're about to measure. Am I doing this right? I think so. So let's see. A little more than 16, and this is plenty. Okay, good. So, well, now I'm thinking maybe even the first spacer that I used, maybe it would work. Yeah, I need to know this. So let's remove this route a bit. Okay, and let's put that spacer back. So here we put it here inside. We just drop it, and now we put the router bit here. And let's see if this sticks out at least 16 or so millimeters from the plate. And it does. Okay, so this will work actually, which means I can even tighten this now. So I got to push this button so I can tighten it so that it doesn't rotate as I'm tightening it. Okay, so now it rotates, right? Now I can rotate it. Yeah, good. All right. Now I can put this here, and I do need an extra light. So I have a portable light that I use for these projects. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. Yeah, so we do have a small audience. You are watching a live stream, right? This is Guitar Quackery live from New York City. located in Midtown Manhattan in a big studio called Bob Elliott's Music Makers NY. Sorry. Dust. Sorry about that. Okay, so this will be kind of hard to show, I think, but I need to work on these alignments now. Okay, so we need to route out this saddle slot deeper. Now let me just lower. So let me first turn this so that the cutters are going to be touching the two sides of the existing slot. And now it's actually hovering a little bit above the saddle slot. Okay. So I need to lower the route a bit. Just make an adjustment. Okay. I think that's okay. So it's impossible to show on camera, but now the router bit is inside of the saddle slot on this side. And at this point, I need to put my fence here. And the fence is just this. Okay. It won't be an adjustable fence. I will actually glue it down because this is a one-time jig anyway, right? And yeah, I'm gonna just hold it here and just move the router. So I'm gonna tilt it. I'm gonna move it in this direction and position it inside of the existing saddle slot. And now just adjust this fence a little bit. And now I will hold the fence here. And do another adjustment on the other side. This is just a preliminary adjustment, alignment, just to see where it's at. Okay. So you see, I need to rotate the router plate a little bit so that it's always here parallel to the fence. And I feel this is good. So now I'll hold it down like this, and I will confirm that when I move it here, that it hits the same spot. And it doesn't quite, you can see that, which means I need to readjust it. So I'll hold it down here and move this, and now hold it down here and here and move it back. Release this. Okay, that's it. Let's just confirm. Once again, I hold it with 2 fingers there, tilt the router, move it forward, and hopefully now it should go straight into that slot. But there's a little wiggle here. So I'm going to readjust that, hold it down here, and move that fence in that direction a hair. And readjust it again if I need to. So now it's good on both sides. Okay. So now I want to make sure that my router doesn't move. And I'm going to remove this and just glue it. The glue I'll be using is Tide Bond 3. I could use Tide Bond 1, doesn't matter, original Tide Bond. But usually for jigs, I use Tide Bond 3. And that's it. Let's just put some glue here. This will be plenty strong. And now because I haven't moved the router, I just place this here, spread the glue out a little bit. And I'm doing this away from the router plate. Hold on to the router and move it against the plate, just like that. Now, technically, if I just clamp it, we should be good. So I have a couple of clamps here. All right. And I'll put, you know, I have smaller clamps here. I think those would work better. Okay. It doesn't really matter, but I think they will work better. So obviously, we can't do any routing today. And put the other clamp on the other side. So the glue needs, you know, a little time to dry, which means I can still move the fence if I need to. So I'm going to verify that everything is perfectly aligned. So this is not something that I can show you on camera, but I can clearly see that the router bit is in good alignment with the saddle slot. Okay, so I'm happy with this. Now I can just tighten this just a tiny bit. And here I have another fence. I can simply glue this one on this side. Same procedure. So I don't want to put too much glue because, see, it's already dry, because I don't want to get too much squeeze out. All right. and this is plenty. See, maybe even too much here. So that tissue paper, that 3/4 of tissue paper left over, is going to be used now. Aficionados here, he says, bless you. And then there's a deleted message, retracted message. So maybe he said something. It's not Steam. Yeah. Are you worried about Steam? Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't want to get squeezed out on the side of the fence, right? So here we go. I just place this here. Yeah, and I can clamp it. Let me see something. Yeah, I think we're good. So this is it. Let's put one of those clamps here. Up. It's moving the fence. See, now I messed up a little bit. Maybe I should clamp it on the front first. And one more clamp goes here. All right, and same thing. Now I just want to check to make sure everything is aligned properly. And I believe that it is. So I do have a nice tight fit. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to retract the blade. So we just do this, and I raise the whole router. Which direction? No, this direction. So this way the blade won't be scratching the surface of the bridge. Just make sure. Yeah. And now I just check to see if this works. And it does. So it'll be easy to do this. That's it. Right? So we now have a custom routing jig for this project. How about that? Okay, so look at that. I kept the audience watching, which means you like it, which means, let's see, how many likes I got? 0. Well, I think maybe this project is so mesmerizing you forgot to click like. That's what I think. So these live streams, so this particular project is a project that I'm charging by the hour. So these live streams help me keep track of the time. And obviously, this type of service provides full transparency. The customers can see exactly how much time is being spent on the project, which I think is great. Customers can watch me work on their guitars. So if I mess up, it's all recorded. It creates a permanent archive of the project. So a live stream is going out live and then gets archived. So we can always go back to it and check everything, right? The other thing is that I explain everything as I'm doing the work. So this is also educational content. So if you feel that you've learned anything, you can tell your friends. A good way to grow this channel, this educational channel, is to let people know that it exists. So just grab a link, if you want to, and post a link on any or all of your favorite guitar forums, because it's going to help other people as well. You can also click the link that says buy me a coffee if you just want to buy me a coffee. And that's it. If you want to catch me live at work, click subscribe and then click the bell icon. This way you get notified when I'm streaming, because these are not scheduled live streams. So now all that remains to be done is disassembly. So I don't know if I should do that off camera. Nah, it's okay. I can do it on camera. I did notice that that it's a little tight on top. So I'm having trouble pulling the router out. No, here it is. Okay. So in this case, a tight fit is exactly what we need, right? Let's put the router away. And now we remove the entire jig. Okay, so you see it didn't stick to the guitar. That's good. This is why I put the little tissues. And maybe the tissues just adhere to the Bondo. I don't know. Let's see. Yes, look at that. Kind of. All right. So what I'll do now is I will simply place this somewhere. So for now, just here. I'll let this sit overnight. When will I be routing? So just thinking of my schedule, also something I'm doing outside of the shop. I think, so today is Thursday afternoon or evening, early evening, early for me. I think maybe Saturday evening is a realistic time. Yeah, I might be able to do this on Saturday evening. So just like last time, I do want to put the strings back, so let's do it. It's all part of the job. So the old saddle goes back in. I don't even know which direction. Not that it matters. We are going to make a new saddle anyway. So you see it's got a severe break angle across the saddle. So we're doing a complete overhaul. And we are going to change the pins. We just want to make it nice. We just want to go back to original spec, I guess. I believe this guitar had ebony pins. It didn't have these plastic pins. These might be the Dario, I think they are. They are very good. I just don't think they're the best choice for this guitar, for this nice vintage guitar. So, if you've watched my previous live streams, I do have issues with Martin as a manufacturer company. But they've been around since 1833, so Martin today isn't Martin of yesterday, right? Other people work at the factory. So this is an old guitar. The people who made this guitar might not agree with how, you know, the company is making guitars today. We don't know. We can't read their minds, but, you know. So yeah, technically it's the same company, but it isn't. I'm just going to tune the guitar to pitch, put it in the case, and this is how it's going to spend a couple of nights. So the guitar, so when you tune your first string or your first two strings, you tune them to pitch, then you tune the other four strings, and then you go back to the first two strings, they will be slightly flat. And that's because the neck moves in this direction, and the soundboard moves in this direction. So I'm having some issues with the, especially with the B tuning machine. And the G as well. So we'll have a closer look at this. Okay, it's time to put the guitar back. And put the humidifier where it belongs, which is here. I did check that the humidifier has still, you know, that the sponge is still moist. Yeah, look. So this is our jig. Okay, the tissues are falling off. Oh, I like this clamp isn't clamped, isn't tight. Okay. Here's our jig. Okay. I'll just put it on the shelf for a day or two, and then we'll continue in a couple of days. So we'll cut the saddle slot. The width is going to be the same. It's 1/8 of an inch. That's the width of the existing saddle. Of course, I'll double check everything before I do any cutting. And we'll cut a new saddle. It's going to be a bone saddle, right? So we'll cut a new saddle out of a bone blank. Do I have one here? Yeah, I do. I kind of have a clutter here, but it's like an all parts bone saddle blank. And that's it. All right, so click, click, click. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.